Okay, so for today's deep dive, we are jumping into what might be the ultimate Star Wars fan debate,
Oh, yeah.
pulled straight from the Star Wars subreddit,
Right.
analyzing that final duel between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader in A New Hope.
The big one.
The big one. And the central question everyone keeps asking is, it's simple but just endlessly complex. If Obi-Wan had not sacrificed himself, who had actually won that fight?
Right. And what's fascinating here is just how the community pulls in, decades of arguments and lore. So our mission is really to distill all those core fan theories, the power scaling, emotional context, all of it, to understand the two main camps.
So where should we start? Team Vader.
Let's start with the case for Vader. The general consensus on the thread seems to be that the Sith Lord would have eventually just overwhelmed him.
Just by sheer force.
Yeah, overwhelmed a crafty but tired and overmatched Ben Kenobi, as one user put it. He's considered to be in his prime as a Sith Lord here, despite, the suit.
That brings up a huge strategic point I saw, something I hadn't even thought about. It almost makes the duel irrelevant.
What's that?
The stormtroopers. Sources cite the presence of a staggering 26,000 stormtroopers on the Death Star. So even if Kenobi somehow wins the lightsaber duel, he's strategically doomed, isn't he?
Oh, completely. Escape is impossible for him or for the rebels if that fight drags on. He's boxed in.
Right.
But if we focus just on the duel itself, that's where the power scaling argument really splits. On one hand, some fans argue Vader's raw force power grew, like exponentially after Episode 3.
But then you have the physical side. That sounds like a serious drawback.
It's the central conflict of the debate. Some users argue his cybernetic limbs just can't channel the force as effectively, that he's slower.
Slower how?
Well, one user even compared him to George Foreman in his 40s.
Huh. Okay, I get it. Great raw power, but maybe not the agility he once had.
Exactly. Lacking that youthful speed.
Okay, so switching sides then. The Kenobi supporters, they're quick to point to his history, right?
Of course. He's the master. He's beaten Anakin or Vader twice before.
On Mustafar and then again during the Kenobi series, the argument is, why wouldn't he go for the three-peat?
And if you connect that to pure technique, the reason becomes even clearer. Obi-Wan is considered the greatest master of Soresu, the defensive form.
The perfect counter.
It's the perfect, frustrating counter to Anakin's aggressive, heavy-hitting style. Vader's fighting requires constant offense, and Obi-Wan is built to just wait him out.
And that technique links right back to the psychological element, which so many users cited as Vader's ultimate weakness here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That angsty teenager rage, as they called it, his deep emotional connection to Obi-Wan, is a huge impediment.
He slips back into the role of the learner.
Yes. It compromises his form, opens him up to Obi-Wan's very calculated defensive traps.
And then there was that really provocative detail that kept surfacing.
The George Lucas quote.
Yeah, and that George Lucas is reportedly on record saying Vader was no match for Obi-Wan in A New Hope.
It's a tempting quote, but it almost misses the larger point that the fan analysis lands on, which is that none of the power scaling truly matters. Because Obi-Wan's goal was not to win the lightsaber duel.
It was a stall.
Exactly.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
to serve as the ultimate distraction to make sure Luke, Leia, and Han could escape with those Death Star plans. That was the entire mission.
He was ready to become one with the Force. He'd completed his duty and viewed his sacrifice not as a defeat, but as the next part of the plan.
The next calculated step. To continue training Luke, but as a Force ghost. It's a victory Vader was just utterly confused by in that moment. A win that guaranteed Vader's own ultimate failure.
So a final provocative thought for you to think about. Considering he immediately shows up as a Force ghost to keep guiding Luke, was Obi-Wan's vanishing act the ultimate untouchable three-peat win against Vader? If you want us to deep dive into more iconic fan debates like this one, let us know by hitting the like button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next analysis.